Kids TV!
Should the road be long and wide, our good Lord shall remain our guide. However long we must here roam, soon we shall find our own way home.
But they did not find it. They walked all night and all of the next day, from morning to evening, but could not find a way out of the woods. Hunger began to torment them because they did not have anything to eat but a few blueberries they found along the way. Finally, their tired legs refused to obey them any longer, and they collapsed under a tree. On the third morning, they started off again. But alas, the further they walked, the deeper into the forest they went. It became clear that without finding help soon, they were doomed to perish. At noon, they saw a beautiful snow-white bird that was sitting on a branch high above them and sang so beautifully that the children delightedly came to a stop. When the bird had finished its song, it unfurled its wings and flew away. They followed it until their sight fell upon a small house, upon which the singing bird landed. As the children drew closer, they saw the house was built entirely of candy and covered with cakes. Even the windows were made of sugar.
Come! Hurry! Have some food! I will eat a piece of the roof, and you can taste the sweet window pane.
With that, the little boy reached up on the tip of his toes, broke off a tasty piece of the roof, and Gretel reached hungrily towards the glass. Suddenly, from the hut came a voice.
Oh, crunch, munch. Who has come for lunch?
But the children were too busy eating to hear the voice. They were very hungry and kept on eating away. Hansel, who found the roof to his liking, broke off a larger piece, and Gretel sat down with a piece of the window, munching with gusto. Suddenly, the door of the hut opened, and a hunched old woman with a purple cape and hat appeared. Hansel and Gretel were frightened and immediately dropped their food. But the old woman simply nodded her head.
Oh, sweet children. Who has brought you here?
No one. We are lost.
Why don't you come into the house? Have no fear, for nothing bad will happen. Tomorrow I will help you find your way home.
She took them gently by the hand and led them into the house. She gave them fresh milk, sugar-coated donuts, and candy. Then she made them 2 comfortable beds, and Hansel and Gretel lay down to rest. They thought they had found themselves in heaven. But the old woman only pretended to be kind, for she was a bad witch who lay in wait for children, and had specially built this house of candy, pastry, and sugar in order to lure them to her. When the children fell under her power, she would kill them and eat them. Witches have red eyes and see poorly, but have instead an excellent sense of smell, like animals, and feel the approach of people. From the very first moment she had smelt Hansel and Gretel, the witch had giggled maliciously and hissed,
I foresee a delicious meal. I won't let these tasty two slip through my fingers.
Early in the morning, when the children were still sleeping peacefully, the witch stood over them and looked at their ruddy cheeks.
These indeed will be ever so tasty. Such a delicious stew I will make. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum,
Then
yum.
she picked Hansel up in her bony hands and threw him into the pigsty before locking the gate. The poor boy screamed and cried, but to no avail.
It's cold and dark, I'm so afraid. Oh, who will be sent to our aid? I know I must be brave and strong. Will this be my prison for long?
Then the witch went back to Gretel, all sweetness now gone, and woke her up, shaking her roughly.
Get up, you lazy child! Bring some water and cook something good for your brother. He needs to be fattened up. When the time is right, he will make a tasty meal.
Gretel began to weep bitterly, but she knew she had no choice. She had to do what the witch told her. While the witch gave poor Hansel the best food, Gretel had to survive on scraps and leftovers. Every morning, the witch went to the pigsty.
Hansel! Hansel! Stick your finger out. I want to see if you're fat enough yet. Ooh.
But Hansel was a clever little boy and offered a thin old chicken bone instead of his finger. And the witch, who was very short-sighted, was astonished to see that Hansel did not get any fatter. When 4 weeks had passed, the witch became impatient and decided she could wait no longer.
Hey, you, Gretel! Bring me some water now. No matter how much I feed him, Hansel just does not fatten up. So, I will have him cooked tomorrow. He will make a tasty meal just as he is.
How the poor girl cried. Her tears dripped all the way into the water bucket she carried.
Oh, dear Lord, help us. If only we had been eaten by wild animals. At least we would have been together. But now, how can I help my poor brother?
Do not waste your breath crying, for nobody will come to your rescue. Now, you are mine.
Early next morning, the witch told Gretel to prepare the fire for a great meal to be cooked.
Gretel, hurry up, you wretch. I have things for you to fetch. There's no need to scream and yell. Yum, I love to eat so well. Yum, 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 it's time to cook. I don't need a baking book. I'm so hungry, time to munch. Hansel, such a tasty lunch. First, we will bake some bread. This shall go well with a baked boy.
She pushed poor Gretel towards the oven from which flames were already bursting and told her to peek inside it to make sure that it was hot enough. But what she really wanted to do was to push Gretel into the oven and cook and eat her. But Gretel sensed the danger.
But the oven is too small to look in. How can I manage?
You stupid wretch! The door opening is quite large enough. You see? Even I can fit in it.
And with that, she poked her head into the oven. At that very moment, Gretel pushed the witch into the oven, slammed the door, and bolted it behind her. Began to howl the evil woman. But Gretel ran away, leaving her in the oven, where very soon the old witch was burnt to ashes. Gretel immediately rushed to the pigsty to release her brother.
Come out! Come out, Hansel! The witch is dead! We are free!
Things seemed gloomy and so dark, but faith was our guiding spark. Now we're free of that old jail. It's the next chapter in our tale. If you know how to deal with strife, then you'll have a happy life. If you have a lot of heart, this is a good place to start.
Hansel flew out like a bird from a cage. How the children rejoiced as they clutched each other and embraced. They walked back into the cottage, and in the witch's bedroom, they discovered many boxes full of pearls and jewels that the witch had pilfered and hoarded.
Oh, they are even nicer than the pebbles, but they are not ours to take. We shall return them to the mayor of the town, and he shall decide what to do with such treasure. Now let's go and find a way out of this terrible place.
Yeah, let's go!
After several hours, the children came across a great river.
How can we cross this river? I do not see any bridge or ford.
What shall we do?
Look!
Here comes a friendly-looking duck. Maybe he can help us.
Quack, quack,
Hey there, over here, Mr. Duck.
quack,
No bridge or ford, we're out of luck.
quack.
Would you help us cross the
Quack,
river?
quack.
Be our kind fairy and deliver. The two of us, brother and sister.
The duck swam up. Hansel sat on its back and asked if Gretel could also sit with him.
Quack! I am only a small quack, duck quack. But fear not, I can take both of you across, one after another. Quack, quack, quack!
The kind duck carried them one by one, and thanking them, they continued their journey home. Soon, they saw the tower of the town hall and rushed to find the mayor. Tired, hungry, and out of breath, they told him the story of the evil witch and of the treasure they had found. The mayor looked at them kindly, and raising himself to his full height, he declared to everyone gathered before him,
Behold, two honest and brave children who have defeated the evil witch, who has plagued these parts for many years. As your reward, all the treasure shall be yours.
With that, the two children ran home as fast as their little legs would carry them. After a short while, they were overjoyed, for they saw the family cottage from afar. They ran and hugged their surprised but delighted father. In the meantime, their evil stepmother had died. So Hansel and Gretel were able to live in perfect peace and happiness with their beloved father. Indeed, thanks to the jewels, They were now quite rich and bought 2 cows, 2 pigs, 2 dogs, and a duck. Soon their happiness was complete when their father married again. Except this time, their new stepmother was kind, generous, and loving. So they all lived happily ever after. Children, so this brings us to the end of our tale. But always remember, be kind, be good, and be generous. For you never know what wonderful things are waiting around the next corner.